we're going to be introducing some new features into our post table, and this would require us to delete everything and start all over again from scratch. Okay, so not to worry, it's just normal, everything's okay. I don't want to create a separate migration for editing the table, so I'm just going to roll back my migration, edit the table, and restart. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if I say PHP Artisan right here, you discover that we have for a migrate, we have an install, we have a refresh, we have reset, we have rollback, and rollback is going to roll back the last database migration, and roll back all database migrations is going to be a reset. Okay, and a refresh is going to reset and rerun all migrations. Okay, so what I'm going to do is edit my table, and I'm going to show you exactly why, and I'm going to roll back all the changes. So first thing I want to change, I want to include a string field, and this string field is going to be called slug, and this slug is actually going to be what we'll use to identify our post. If I go to my application and I visit the categories and I click on edit, for example, you discover that here is saying edit the category of ID of 6, which is okay for the back end or administrator of application because he doesn't really care. But when we are going to be displaying posts to our user in the front end, we want him to be able to say blog.dev / and then the whole name of the post, maybe creating applications with Laravel 5.3 or something like that. Okay, so that's where a slug comes in. The next thing we want to include is a field that is called soft deletes. Okay, so the name of this field is soft deletes, and I'll just remove this from here and take it down to be with my table timestamps. So what is this soft delete going to create? This soft delete is simply going to introduce a new field into our database, and this field is going to be deleted at, and we're going to see how that works. Now we need to implement a soft delete functionality in our post model. So let's head over to our post.php, and I'll set this up and I'll explain as soon as I'm done. So first of all, we need to use a trait called soft delete, and this trait is going to give us a number of helpful methods to acquire this functionality. And obviously for us to use this trait, we have to import it. So I'll go ahead and import it right there. And rather than importing Eloquent model, I'm going to import soft delete right there. So use soft deletes. So right now our model has some additional methods that are going to help us to have soft delete functionality. For example, when we delete a model, we don't want it to be deleted, we want it to be trashed. Okay, so we imported that trait and we're using the traits with our post. Let's head over to our create post table. We already have that field, and what this field is going to do is create a deleted at field in our database, and this deleted at field is going to be automatically null. So when we create a new post, it's going to be null. But when we delete a post like we normally would, it's not going to delete that post from our database. It's simply going to change the deleted at field to a particular timestamp. And as soon as it changes this, when we are trying to get all our posts, this post where the deleted at field is not null is going to be ignored. Okay, so when we say get all posts from the database, the posts where the deleted at field is not null are not going to be taken. Okay, so we're going to use this and you're going to see how it works. And the last piece of the puzzle is actually telling our Eloquent model that we have a new date. Okay, so we'll say protected dates is equals to this, and the deleted at field is going to be the new date. Okay, so in our Eloquent model, we have a protected dates property, and this property simply declares new dates that we want to include in our application. For example, if we wanted to have a published at functionality, we'll just create a new timestamp right here, and when we create a new timestamp, we will tell Eloquent in this dates property to treat that field as a timestamp. Okay, so when it's retrieving it, it's gonna use a package called Carbon to manipulate it. Okay, let's not talk about that at the moment. Okay, but this is how we declare fields in our database to be treated as dates. Okay, so our deleted at field that is going to be created by the soft delete method on our blueprint is going to be treated as a date. Okay, so let's run and refresh our database. So we'll say PHP Artisan migrate, and this will be refresh. And like we saw, this command is going to roll back all the tables in our database and it's going to migrate them again. So let's check out our database and see how it looks right now. I'll log in right here, and I would like to go to that database for my blog, and I'll go to my post table and see how it looks. So let's look at the structure, and we have the slug field that we just included, and we have a deleted at timestamp, and null is set to yes. Okay, so it's null by default. If we delete a new database record, which is a post, it's gonna simply change this deleted at field to the current timestamp, and when it changes that, when we are trying to retrieve all posts from our database, this field is going to be checked, and if this field is not null, it's not going to be retrieved. So all those methods are actually going to be in our post threads, in our threads right here that we included. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this changes stuff in application in the next video.